Hey guys, MKS again here. I will try to keep this video down to 10 minutes, I promise. I don't want it to be too long, I don't want to bore you, and also I want to go for a shower. I don't even know if I'm going to have 10 minutes worth of content to talk about, but talking about my last video where I talked about doing one thing at a time and all these different ideas I had, I thought I'd get on with this this video about enforced tax being robbery, double question marks. I want people to think, and I'd love to hear your opinions either way. As I said, please don't shoot the messenger. So if you disagree with an opinion, I don't think you should resort to name calling or being crude about it. I don't think that makes your point stronger. I think it makes it weaker. But anyway, obviously free speech and all that, so you can write what you want. It's up to you. But hopefully some people will be positive about it. And again, if you disagree, that's fine. I think that's, as I say, it takes all time to make go around in different opinions. And I wonder if a lot of people think about it, like a lot of people probably take for granted that the richer should pay more taxes, millionaires, billionaires, people like that should pay more tax, or people who run businesses should pay more taxes because they're richer, possibly say they don't need the money and things like that. So I would, I understand that kind of opinion. And again, I suppose that is kind of true. People who technically it's true that they don't need the money. My view is that it's still kind of telling people what to do with their money, how they should spend their money. I think it's like telling people, dare I say, I do want to keep these videos family friendly, so I'm going to try not to swear or say anything too crude if I can help it, or too many innuendos. But it's kind of like telling people who they can sleep with, what they can do with their body, what they can do with their money, their mind, their labor, whatever, their time and so forth. Again, I mean, I kind of want to listen to the opposing side about, and again, that's why I double question marked it, so that I don't want to do that. So I double question marked it so that I can sort of make people think. But I wonder if a lot of people think, oh yeah, I never really thought of taxes as robbery. I think I read it somewhere once, and I thought, yeah, that is kind of an inconvenient truth. That, like, because I've been on benefits for so long, and it's kind of like even before. A long time ago, I read about this, and so how can I put it? Sorry, even though I was on benefits, even whilst I was on benefits, whilst I was down, I still kind of like, people are forced to pay me money, so it's kind of difficult. And another thing I was thinking is that, on the other hand, like say someone says, okay, well, get a job, and if I struggle to get a job, but let's say assume I could get a job or I could earn money, then I'd be forced to pay for things that I disagree with. Like if there's a war that goes on, like the Iraq War, whether you agree with the war or not, you have to pay for it. And I don't want to take too many sides about. I don't want to take Israel or Palestine side, because I think that I don't know enough about the conflict. But so sorry about that. I don't know enough about the history of the conflict or who's right or wrong. So I'm kind of neutral in that regard. So as I said, I don't know enough about the situation, but a lot of people say they're pro-Palestinian. But they'll say if one side in a conflict like Israel and Palestine, or India or Pakistan, gets more aid, perhaps I don't want to just pick on Israel and Palestine, but if one side gets more aid, or the taxpayer is forced to pay, which is effectively, you never choose what tax you pay or where it goes. So if one side it gets more money, then that's the side you really, as a taxpayer, are supporting. So if someone says, I'm against the Iraq War, if they marched against the Iraq War back in 2001 or wherever it was, you cannot be a British or American or European in some of these, in any country that contributed to that war or was involved in that war. You can't be against the Iraq War because, well, you can kind of. You might be morally against the war, or you might disagree with it and all that sort of stuff, ethically and all that. But you are still paying for something. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. You're still paying for it. So every British or American citizen is effectively supporting things like the Iraq War or things like the Syrian War, things like that, because, and that's not just Britain or America, but any allies or even people in Russia probably, if they're paying taxes. So I try to be as fair as possible. As a taxpayer, you're still supporting these wars. You're still supporting weapons trade and everything else that wars spent for. If you're a republic supporter like me and not a monarchist, even if you're an anti-monarchist, you are still by default having to support the monarchy because you have no choice over your tax. So I was going to say, to give Jeremy Corbyn his dues, although he calls for higher taxes, he says that we should have a choice of whether we pay for the military or not. I think there's an article I read briefly. I skimmed over. I didn't read the whole thing because I don't really like to read much. But I think that if we are going to pay tax, which is fine, I think that we should have at least some sort of choice over where our tax money goes. Like, I love people to have as much choice over where our tax money goes as possible within reason. Our society itself could vote for what tax could be used, cannot be used for. So it can be used for a personal business, or which people couldn't just put money into their own communities or own areas. But you could choose whether you want to pay for healthcare or education or the military or royalty or homeless people or whatever you wanted to pay, disabled people, or whatever. So you would have more choice over where your tax money goes. I think that's really important. And even overseas aid, people of colour, like people of Indian descent, I think would be great if they could give their money legally towards India. That could be like some form of reparation as well, because arguably Britain took a lot of money out and wealth out of India. So I think that I think that'd be good if we had more choice. Again, overseas aid, I think if you don't want to pay overseas aid, I don't think you should have to, but I think it'd be great if people of colour, maybe not even all people of colour would want to give overseas aid, but I think we should, from a list of things, we should have the choice over where we want our individual money to go when we do pay taxes, if and when we earn enough to pay taxes. I like what the Liberal Democrats did here in the UK, where they took the lowest paid out tax. I think that was really good, because if you're not earning that much money, I don't think it makes much sense for you to be forced to give money to the government. But I mean, most people would probably say, or a lot of people certainly would say, we should tax millionaires and billionaires. But I wonder if that's saying that because you become financially rich, financially successful, if you like, that it's right to tell you what to do with your money. Because I think that is what tax is saying. Because if you give money to a charity, you choose whether you want to support that charity. But if you give money to a tax, you don't have that choice. Again, I'm very happy to listen to alternative opinions. I know they're out there on the internet. Perhaps I should have been too, you might say, lazy not to read them or watch them about different opinions, about people who said why tax is not robbery and people who have said why it is. But if those type of people want to come in, every person is welcome to come in my comment section. Hopefully I'll never delete any comments, even hateful comments or whatever, as talking about freedom of speech. But I think if you shout people down, or you tell people, if you, rather than explain why you think your opinion's right, if you believe there's a right and wrong in life, but if you say why you have your opinion, then I think it makes your opinion strong. But as soon as you shout people down and tell them that they're wrong just because they disagree with you, I think it doesn't make your opinion stronger. If anything, I think it makes your opinion, or your side of the argument, I think it makes it a lot weaker, in my opinion, as I say. But yeah, so as I say, I love to hear what people think. I definitely think it'd be great if we could choose where our tax money went within, as I say, within reason. Society could vote on what specific things tax is used for, like healthcare or education, and what it can't be used for. But individuals could choose, like if you're a pacifist, you could choose not to pay towards weapons trade or the wars or the military or the royalty and royal family and things like that. Because if you're a pacifist and you can refuse to join the military, it still means you in a country like the UK or the US or any other countries. I'd also love to get rid of forced conscription and internationally, because I don't think that's fair to force people to join the military. I don't know how it's been forced, but quite an ironic choice of words. I talk about liberating people, but again, I think it shouldn't be forced. I think it'd be better to force governments not to have forced conscription than it would be to force citizens to be forcibly conscripted into the military. I think the military around the world should always be something you choose to do if you want to do it, and also you can leave if you wanted to and things like that. And also I think the age should be raised to 18, but that's a video for another time. Anyway, I think I've waffled on enough, but It's about 10 minutes long. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a like. Again, I really welcome your views. Peace out.